In today's video, we are doing some 6-foot high tan vinyl. We're doing 2 5-foot gates and 2 sidelines. Starting out, we're gonna dig up against the house, and we have a survey before we do this property. So we're gonna measure out to the property line and make sure we are inside of that. Make sure you dig a nice big hole around your post so you can get an even pour of concrete. This is in Florida, so we actually do a dry set here in Florida because the ground is moist enough. Within a couple days, the concrete is already hardened, and in 30 days, it's max strength. If you live anywhere that's extremely dry, highly recommend that you wet set your post. And don't throw this kind of clumpy clay rocks into your hole to tamp it. You want dirt that is going to tamp finely in your hole. Now that we got our front all set up, we're gonna go ahead and do our sideline. When I do vinyl, I go ahead and cut myself a jig to go in between the posts. It really cuts out all the guesswork when you're setting a full section. Also, let's say your yard has a huge incline. You want to set your section slightly smaller so your rails will still reach. Also, if you want to route your own post, get yourself a multi-tool. A multi-tool goes right into these vinyl posts like it's nothing. Not quite like butter, but they work out great. I've had to do this, honestly, a million times. I've gotten, I'd say pretty good at it, honestly. But easy way, if you got a blank post, you need to make a line, an end, whatever, there you go. When it comes to putting in your rails, sometimes you're gonna have to trench to get your appearance nice and straight before you put your rails in. But the key here is when you're in the middle of the line, put your rail in the empty side first because you have more room inside of the post. Easy little tip, something that actually had to be taught to me when I first started. And when you're at your cuts, butt it up to the inside of the post and then just mark the outside of your post. So I don't know if I explained that very well, but line it up on the post as if you were sliding it all the way in, and then just mark it flush on your inside of your post. See, perfect fit. I might not have explained that amazing, but you get the idea. After we get our rails in, we screw our U-channel in. This is kind of a personal preference. My company likes us to do it, so that's how we do it. And now it's time to build the gate. I just go ahead and butt my rails up right up against the insides and mark them flush. And then I subtract my opening. I just use a cut piece of rail because it's a perfect size and it already gives me a squared line to cut off of. But it is a perfect 1 3/4, which is a perfect gap for our gate opening. Now, when I build my gates, I leave the uprights flat on the ground so my pickets can just kind of fall into place. You know, pop your U-channel in and slide your first picket in and go until you reach the very top. And once you get to the very top, depending on how much of a picket you got left here, but go ahead and put all your pickets in and then just measure the inside of your gate ups. For me, they're 3 3/8, so I'm gonna go ahead and mark that on the rail and on the picket So after I cut my picket, I can see which side is which. Now that we've got our last picket cut, it's time to pop our other gate up on. Sometimes these are a little tough and you have to kind of shave the edges of the rails to get it to pop in. This one popped right in, and now it's time to put our hinges on. Before you put your hinges on, make sure you have your vinyl gate at the right rack, at the right angle, because once you put these screws in, it's not gonna wanna rack as much. It's not gonna wanna move around. So make sure you do that first. You can get these adjustable hinges online. Even Amazon sells these adjustable hinges. Not quite exactly these ones, but and make sure you get yourself a aluminum insert for your gate post. The aluminum insert is to just prevent the screws from running completely through the vinyl. Having a bunch of weight and wind on this, it really puts some strain on the plastic. Normally when we're hanging our gates, they have a whole front with sections. Here I'm on a single post, so you might want to trace your rail holes to the other side so you can see exactly where to line up with your rails. Here I had another guy on the job with me, so I just asked him to tell me when the rail was lined up before I screwed it in. Here I've just got a little bit of dirt in my way of the latch. Now we're gonna make sure our latch post here is perfectly lined up. Again, with having a full section there, I'm just kind of measuring the top of the post to get it lined up. Obviously, when you've got a section there, it'll be a lot easier to just line it up with the other rails. Now we are putting our sag bar or our tension bar on. This is another thing you can get online. There's many ways to do this, many options, but this is what our company uses. You simply just pull it up to where you need it and screw it in. And now it's time to do our latch. First, I put the striker on, and then I put my latch on. Make sure your post, your gate is exactly where you want it before you put your latch on, because there is no going back. And here it is. Gorgeous. You know me. We've got a little bit of heights left to do, but here is a time lapse, unedited, of me building a gate. So enjoy. If you want to skip to the end, I'll leave a timestamp in the description. And we're back. Just a little bit of heights left to do. Like I said, simply just knock them down with a sledgehammer, and I'll just eye them in. And of course, you know me, it's beautiful inside and out. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. Hope you found it helpful. Check the channel out. We're gonna keep posting more.